Hello, and thank you for using the TrainTrack software. In this video, we will be going over how to navigate through the software. Here on the home screen, you have the number of active employees listed and a notes section in the middle that you can use to leave yourself any sort of notes, reminders, to-dos, and you can have as many pages of notes as you like. Please note that only you will be able to see these notes. Other users logging into the same database under a different username will not see these notes. On the right-hand side, there is a daily tip section, so we recommend you click through a couple of these each time you log in so you can get more familiar with the software. And down at the bottom is going to be your scheduled class list. You'll have the main navigation bar on the left, so if you need to pull a report, you can go to the report menu. And whenever you want to open a report, just double-click on the name. There's also the training list that you can access by clicking on List next to Training. And to open any training record to the training details screen, you can either double click on the training name, or you can go back to the training list, select another training, and then click detail. Same goes for the employee list. You have your list that you can double click on a name to open the employee detail screen, or you can go back to the employee list, select an employee, and then click detail. If you have completions you would like to add for the same training for a group of people, you can use a quick add button. There's other ways to add completions and a separate video that goes over all those ways and then how to use this screen as well. To access the exam screen, there's a button for that here towards the bottom where you can select your name, type in your password, and click OK to access your exams. The import data button will take you to the import menu where you can select which type of records you would like to import. There is a separate video for that in case you are interested in learning how to import data in bulk. If you need additional help, click the help button towards the bottom and you'll be taken to the user manual for the client interface. Here you can see everything sorted by category, and anytime you see the word tutorial next to something, that will show you step-by-step instructions on the left-hand side and an illustration that correlates to that step on the right, so it's super easy to follow along. If you're not able to find what you're looking for based on the category it's under, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you can click on index and everything will be sorted alphabetically by the keywords. At the top, you will have your ribbon where you can further adjust your settings for the software. So database administration will allow you to connect to your database in two different ways. You can clean up your data using the database cleanup button. You can manage your users for both the web and the client interface by clicking on Edit Users. And use the password reset button to indicate the number of days. I apologize. This is for you to reset a password for a user that is logging in to take exams through the client interface, but the password expiration will allow you to select the number of days before your employees will have to reset their password that they currently have set. To view the audit trail, you can click on View Database Changes. So here you can select what type of records, a date range for the records, and filter any audit trail records that you need to see for any changes that have been made to your database. You can also view logins, and this will show you successful and unsuccessful attempts to log in as well. If you need to delete a signed record, you will need to be an administrator and go to the Database Administration tab and click on Delete Signed Records. Signed records cannot be deleted from the training completion history screen like other completion records that are unsigned. To globally update a supervisor, you can use this feature here, which is really helpful in updating a supervisor for a group of employees who now have a new supervisor. If you need to restore a deleted employee or training record, you can use either of these two options, and all the records relating to that employee or training as far as completions and requirements go will be restored along with the record. Under options and settings, you can customize a lot of the views that you see in TrainTrack. For example, if you want your reports and lists sorted by the training number versus a training title, you can select that here. You can also set the default screens that open whenever you are looking at a training or employee detail screen by going to default screens. You can also set a default grace period before training is due, as well as add time increments for scheduling classes. The default login and passwords will allow you to select what is used as your employee's username and temporary password when you create a new employee record. You can select paper size and also add your logo to report. So on the top left corner, your company logo is displayed instead of ours. You can also manage your auto shutdown settings by using the auto shutdown button. Your lookup lists can be managed from the lookup list tab at the top, and there is a separate video that talks about how to manage those lookup list items. From export and email, you can also export any 4 of these types of records if you need to pull the, get them exported out of TrainTrack, and you can select the format it gets exported in. You can also send manual notices to your employees, supervisors, list of recipients, as well as schedule class reminders. And then you can also configure your automatic email settings by clicking here and setting up your mail server information and disabling and enabling any of the due notices or automatic notices that you have set up. From the Help tab, you can open the help files, as well as search support articles or submit a support ticket. This will take you to our knowledge base where you can type in question or part of an error perhaps, and this should tell you how to resolve or give you more information about what you are looking for. For example, if you're curious about user permissions, you can type in user permissions in the search box and then click on the results that look like they will answer the question that you have. And here you'll see a list of the user levels and what they have permissions to do in TrainTrack. Some of these knowledge base articles also have either links to videos or, in this case, a PDF that you can review that has a lot more detail as far as user permission for each interface. From here, you can also enter a new registration code. So if you purchase an additional user license or renewed your subscription, this is where you would go to enter your new registration code. Lastly, if you need to purchase additional licenses, you can click this button here under the Help tab. All right, let's go back to the training list, and I wanted to point out a couple of things as far as the columns go. So if you prefer to have number listed before the training title, you can move all these columns around any way that you would like. So let's say I want training to go over here. Oops. You would just click and drag. And you can move any of the columns as you wish. Let's say the release date, I want that to be next to type. You get the idea. So any column, you can click and drag and move it wherever you would like it to be. You can also sort by any of the columns by clicking the down arrow and selecting which sort order you would like it to have. If you are looking at a specific record, you can go to the relating record by double-clicking on the name of an employee. And then to go back to return to the original record you were looking at, simply click on training detail and you'll be taken back to that same exact training record that you were looking at right before you went to look at the employee record. Same thing from the training detail side. If you wanted to go back to the last employee record you were looking at, simply click on Detail under Employee, and you will be taken back to that record. If you need to search, you can right-click and select Find. Type in what you're looking for and just make sure that the look-in is searching the current document and the match matches any part of the field, so you can ensure that you'll find what you're looking for. Click on Find Next, and you can search for any record on the screen by using the right click and find feature. Right, that should cover everything, and have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching.